It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood because we've got more LCK highlights and we're only a few days away from the LCS kicking off. Eric and Mark here with you guys for League on Lock. Yesterday, we talked Hanwha and Griffin, a couple of undefeated teams. Well, we got more undefeated teams today because when half the league is undefeated, there's a lot of matchups where someone has to lose.
Yeah, we talked about this week 2 of the LCK. The schedule gives us exactly what you needed after that first week where everybody kind of splits the results right down the middle here. Week 2 says, no. We're wanting to see where everybody is. You're going to have to fight the best of the best. And if you lost, we're going to give you a chance to find your victory here.
Griffin, no doubt, looked like the best team in the LCK, maybe the world. But what about the dream team of SK Telecom? They also started 2-0 in slightly less dominant fashion. They still look great in their first 2 sets, going up against the young guns and the surprise guns from Sandbox Gaming. Didn't expect them to start 2-0, but they come in for a highly anticipated matchup with this absolutely stacked SKT lineup. And game 1, first things first. Akali's banned, which is something that should happen in every single game going forward. You got Teddy on the old Ezreal, and Faker gets Galio because the Victor is going top lane. That's the meta.
Of course. Hey, man, you can't be throwing Victor in the mid lane pretty much right now, given the nerfs to top lane Victor and how it's affected it. But who's getting affected right here? Oh, boy, it's that Rise up there in the top lane. Goodbye.
Yeah, Clid there early for the first blood to help Khan get a lead there. And then it's Dove going a little bit too deep. Clid with the clean stopwatch to survive, and then he is caught way far out. SKT gonna collapse here. Faker will flash in on the Galio to get a kill there. Too deep for Sandbox.
As soon as you see the Abyssal Voyage coming through, you gotta back off of that one. And then, of course, you add in the stopwatch there from Clid at the perfect timing.
Stylish.
And it still adds up to another kill there for SKT.
Look at these T-Tour setups that Riot Korea has. You got 2 battles going on 2 different fronts, and then it's another Abyssal Voyage for Mata. And the Nocturne flies in. That's a double global comp. Rise, Realm Warp, not enough to save all of Sandbox because Mata is on the hunt and he's not giving up. Kills go the way of SKT, and Khan, he's thirsty. He's cleaning all these up on the Victor.
There was a lot of damage coming through early on in this one for SKT. And of course, as we know about Sandbox Gaming, they want to be around these Baron pits. They want to get that advantage for themselves. They do, but oh boy, it's going to come at quite the cost to your team.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Kalista, they got vision control early, they secure the Baron, but they lose 3 people, so hard to say if that's worth. Then we go to the bottom lane, SKT starting up a fight here, and the theme, obviously Aatrox, you have to kill 15 times. Most guys usually go GA, but he eventually goes down. Nice hook on Teddy, he gets popped, and you think this fight is lost for SKT, but not at all.
You think that it's going to be turned around on them here, but oh boy, here comes in Faker. Here's all the damage going to be due.
Run, Ghost!
Mata is able to survive. Ghost tries to get out of there, but hey, it doesn't even matter because SKT, they clean things up. They clean up game 1 and take that advantage in this series to start it out.
Yeah, they give up a Baron, but it doesn't end up costing them too much. They pretty much win the fight right after that to take game 1 into game 2. This time, Akali not banned, going in the top lane for Summit, and that is a Draven for Ghost. Clid on the Xin Zhao, and much like game 1, he's proactive early. This is pretty much all Faker. Clid just flashes into steal kill.
Yeah, this is where you type into all chat KS right there. That's not so great going on, but hey, any advantage, you will take it for SKT. And it looks like here Teddy might just get away. Come on, Teddy! No, not going to be enough. Sandbox Gaming finding the advantage to equal it up in this one.
And SKT wants more. Mata says, I'm going in, boys. He gets hooked and throws a kill for 423 bonus gold over to Ghost Draven. Don't want to see cash-ins, especially that early. This engage actually works for Mata, but not as well as you'd think. A nice double body slam into the ulti, but Sandbox are ready for it. They collapse with the TP, couple of nice hooks, and they turn this around actually in their favor.
You had to find something in this type of situation, what the time was in the game. Mata pulls the trigger, and he finds something, yes, but it's not enough given what's there for SKT, and yes, this is exactly the team fight, catching them out, what they wanted. That is a lot of damage coming right out.
Aatrox, Akali, it's just worlds all over again, seeing those 2 picks. Then it's Faker who gets caught out, and he's going to flash late, and ooh, that's a bit of a misplay. He goes down. Sandbox, right after that team fight, they clean up, they get more kills, they grab a Baron. This is snowballing pretty quickly. SKT face checking in to that Baron pit, and that is going to cost them some lives.
Now, SKT is playing a little bit too loose in this situation. They are trying to do what they can from behind here to get these advantages, not to give up too much here to Sandbox Gaming, but they're just not doing it the right way, and Sandbox absolutely punishes them just as they should, taking game 2.
4 dragons and a Baron, even though Clid was active early, he got the kill, but the Draven was big for Ghost. So we go on to game 3, and this time they swap the Aatrox and Akali. Aatrox goes top, Akali goes mid, and I mean, that's questionable to let them get those power picks in back-to-back games, and this one was a fiesta from the get-go. I love level 1s, Mark.
It's definitely a fiesta here, and I gotta give major props here to On Fleek for staying in the Baron pit with that one.
He went in, he didn't run out.
Exactly, you thought that the Camille would hook shot out of there. He says, no, I'm going right back in, helps his team pick up the first blood kill and get some of that early gold.
Watch the Mata flash here.
Oh, okay.
What?
I mean,
I think he was maybe anticipating Joker flashing over, but he flashes for no reason, and then he's separated from his team. It looks like they're catching out Joker to get a kill, but it ends up being a couple of kills in the way for Sandbox, and that really got the snowball going for the early game.
That was seemingly where Sandbox really finds their advantage, their foothold in this matchup to start it out. And yeah, hey, Mata was able to help Teddy get the kill there, but not enough. And it's Khan getting caught out in that mid lane, giving up the kill.
Yeah, by the way, Khan and Faker swapped this game. Faker was on Urgot, he actually played top, and then Khan was mid lane with the Gangplank to go up against that Akali, and it did not go so well for the laning phase. It was just SKT getting caught out. Single members, Faker a couple of times. You saw Khan there, and then all of a sudden, 4 dragons for Sandbox. They have a huge gold lead. It doesn't even matter if you catch someone out.
Where did Teddy go?
Because they're so far ahead that they're completely blowing up Teddy on the Kaisa. He has no chance to do anything. SKT thinks they can win a fight, but instead, they get aced.
Yeah, you got Teddy and Mata getting right in where they want to be, to dishing out damage to the back line of Sandbox Gaming, but yeah, the back line of Sandbox Gaming, they're dishing out damage too. They blow them up, and the SKT Nexus gets blown up as well.
The perfect season.
It's over. Goodbye, Dream Team. Hello, Sandbox Gaming. The Sandcastles reigning supreme here today, getting that victory against SKT.
Yeah, the perfect season's still alive for Sandbox, just not for SKT. Faker, on a couple of Urgot games, he's played a lot of Urgot so far in 2019. A lot of people are calling for him to play more carries, but that hasn't been the case. 2-6-5 today on Urgot in their 2 losses. He got the win on Galio, but big question marks in the pick ban for this one, for Akali and Aatrox getting through 2 games in a row to the likes of Sandbox.
The Akali and the Aatrox, and specifically though for me, it's game 2, letting the Draven through. You had the opportunity to ban out the Draven after you had taken the Ezreal, to give yourself that safe lane, to give yourself that chance to not be just bullied around there by the damage that could be coming out there from the Draven. And of course, the Draven gets selected. We know that they're able to play it, and hey, the damage is there, and you see it in the plays where Mata tries to go in to get the trade kill there and gets blown up right in his face. That is the start of that damage in game 2, the start of the problems for SKT there, and it just snowballed even further.
And Ghost played very well. He's looked good so far on Sandbox, a lot better than he did on BBQ. And Sandbox as a whole already defying expectations. This isn't your grandpa's LCK anymore. It's all about aggression. No more 30-minute 1-0 in kills and a 10,000 gold lead from turrets. We got fights and skirmishes with all these new up-and-coming teams showing up. And they showed up big time against SKT today. Coming up after the break, if you like wacky drafts, you will absolutely love this next highlight pack, because role swaps are still alive in League of Legends. It's League Unlock. Mark and Eric here with you guys today, running through some LCK Week 2 highlights. And not many people would have predicted the Afreeca Freaks and Gen.G both starting off 0-2, but somebody is getting a win today, and this was a special series to witness, Mark. Truly special, and a full representation of what the meta is in 2019.
Special, I'm not exactly sure how you're describing special here, because this one was a wild one right from the get-go in game 1 in the drafts. This one buckle up and get ready for Gen.G and Afreeca Freaks.
Yeah, so as we dive into game one, there's a lot of explanation we got to do because the Afreeca Freaks, no aiming in the lineup, still some question marks around that. They start Dread and Spirit, who are both their junglers, and they have Spirit listed as the jungler, but it's actually Dread who's going to play that Camille. Okay. Spirit is going to play Morgana in the bottom lane, and Keen is going to play the Vayne, but he's going to play it mid because Yukal is going to play the Akali top. All right, you with me, Mark?
Yeah, I'm still with you here. This one is, wow, that is a lot of complex stuff going on here, but you know what isn't complex?
There's Spirit.
That damage coming through, that is not complex. That is A to B, game over, you're dead.
So Spirit's a jungle main. He's roaming mid on the Morgana. Then he's getting dove 1v2, and he's going to survive. And not only is he going to survive, he's going to chase down the Alistar.
Can he hit it?
Hit the snare on the pool. Ruler's going to flash over the Zanyas, and then he flashes out. Spirit is a Morgana god.
Clean. That is clean.
Oh, man. This was an insane start to the game for Spirit here. But this time, it's Gen.G fighting back, and then Keen says, you know what? I'm actually Vayne, by the way, and I have 2 items, so I'm absolutely disgusting with
Hi, I'm putting out some damage. Nice to meet you, and nice to take
He
your
wants
goal.
more, too. That's his penta. 2 more kills, he grabs the penta, but the flash over wasn't meant to be. Yukal is doing Akali things on Akali.
Wait, Peanut, come on.
Don't
Peanut,
do it.
no. Oh, boy.
So the Afreeca Freaks, despite all those outplays, didn't have a huge gold lead up to that point, but another team fight where Keen just goes untouched. So your jungle main is popping off on support Morgana, and your top laner is popping off on mid lane Vayne.
The team fight starts, and as soon as it starts, as soon as you start seeing the different colored health bars right beside each other, all of a sudden, 2 get blown up right away by Keen on the Vayne.
One Silver Bolt's proc is basically someone's full health bar.
Disgusting damage coming through.
And you thought he might get a penta here to clean up this game, but he got so much, he ate up so much CC, he couldn't get the penta. But Afreeca Freaks with this absolutely insane team comp take game 1. I don't know if Gen.G have any idea what just hit them.
I don't know if anyone could know what just hit them there, because that was clean, that was wild, and that was Afreeca Freaks taking game 1.
But it gets crazier. We go into game 2. It's the same setup, but this time Spirit says, you know what, Morgana was cool, but I'm going to play Nico this time. Gen.G try and change things up. They bring Roach in the top lane, but he overextends, and he's going to get first blooded by Dread, who's still their jungler. By the way, he flashes it. It's actually Keen who picks it up on Kled this time. So again, he's going to be your AD threat because you have a Nico in the bottom lane, and that's a lot more kills for the Afreeca Freaks.
Yeah, it's starting out really early for the Afreeca Freaks, finding their advantages in this one, utilizing this strange comp and all the power that it has.
But this time, they dive a little bit too deep, and Gen.G Ruler on the Kai'Sa, something we're a little more familiar with and comfortable in this meta is him on a late game carry champion. Then around the Dragon, Keen comes in, but it looks like it's a little out of sorts. This team fight, who knows who's winning, but the Nico ulti comes in, and it ends up being the Freaks who do start cleaning it up. These team fights were insane in game 2.
This was such a close one there. The damage almost was enough from Gen.G to get rid of some of these early damage threats here from the Afreeca Freaks in that fight. Can't get it done, and it leads to the fight tipping over for the Afreeca Freaks. But at Baron, it's time for Gen.G to engage. Yeah,
they get it to low, almost 30%, but then it resets. The fight engages. You got Aatrox, triple knock up there for Roach. That's pretty good for the sub to come in and pop off like that. That's going to be a clean fight for Gen.G. This game, again, the gold was back and forth pretty much even the whole time. Team fights back and forth. That one fight is enough. 6 dragons in this game, by the way.
Hey, that was an awesome 3-man knockup, but if you're looking on Gen.G's side on who was the reason why you got that victory there in game 2, shoutouts to your boy Ruler. Absolutely the carry that they needed to pick up that victory and send us to game 3.
As is the case all the time with Gen.G. So we came in to game 3, still Spirit. This time, he's all alone as Annie. Oh no, the Hex Flash Alistar, run away. Annie in the bottom lane. LS would be so proud to see him playing there. And then, again, this time it's Keen playing Lucian top, and he is top. Gen.G engages with life on the Alistar, but it's a TP party. You can't cancel those boys. All of a sudden, 5 people are in the
got
bottom
some
lane,
fun.
and Afreeca turns this one around.
Yeah, the damage just starts pumping right out from the carries here on the side of Afreeca Freaks. This match was, to me, it boils down to the battle between Keen and Ruler. Who was going to carry their team harder?
Who's the better AD carry?
Yeah, right now, playing on these champions, that's how it's working out. And right now, still is Keen and Afreeca Freaks getting the advantage on Ruler.
Yeah, and then right around the Baron pit, it is going to be Afreeca who picks that one up after a, again, crazy fight. Keen is going to clean everybody up. Life is the only one left. He's going to go down. Once you get that Essence Reaver going on Lucian, you know how fun it is to dash around on. Just look at Keen in this team fight, weaving in auto attacks. Gen.G trying to defend their base. They've got the Zoe with the poke, but it's not going to be enough with the Baron buff. Gen.G pushing inwards, and again, look at all the dragons in this game. 6 dragons, again, 3 infernals in this late game. Finally, the engage comes in, and they try and take down Keen, but he can't do it. Look how much damage the culling did in this game, Mark.
His health bar is full. I don't know what you mean. They try to get on him, yeah, but not doing any type of damage there. Just way too strong, way too many dragons, way too much CS, way too many kills, way too many things to conquer for Gen.G. Afreeca Freaks, your victors in this match.
They do it with this insane team comp 3 times in a row. They roll with 2 junglers. This is what we were seeing in early summer split of Season 8 when AD carries just weren't a thing, but they were in these comps. It was just Keen playing them in the solo lanes.
I think that's the situation we're coming into right now, is that yes, AD carries have gotten quite a bit of a buff and are doing better in a traditional sense here, but you can still roll with these type of wacky picks here that Afreeca Freaks bust out and make the compositions work, have everybody on the same page and working towards that same goal there, and they get it done here against Gen.G.
And Spirit said he actually has 6 of these picks. He showed 3 of them today, but you can't ban him out. He'll have 1 left over, even if you throw 5 bans at him. And in this crazy game, 6, 5, and 27 for Spirit in these matchups on, again, he's a jungle main playing these mages in the bottom lane, and then Keen, who's your top laner, on Vayne, Lucian, and Kled. All he did was go 17, 2, and 16 in this series, as well as a couple of MVPs. What an exciting set from Afreeca.
Yeah, and then, hey, that's even talking about all these positives here for Afreeca. You haven't even mentioned UCal there in the mid lane. UCal definitely did
he was great.
Good, very solid job today, proving his worth again once here in the LCK, and I think that is a good sign here for Afreeca Freaks, that you have your stars moving in, something wacky going on that's working out as well for you. But of course, even in the dark side here, you got UCal pushing out the numbers.
We'll see what Afreeca does in their next matchup, if they're going to run this roster again. But for Gen.G, they joined the likes of the defending LCK champs from KT Rolster at the 0-3 mark, bottom of the barrel in Korea. Not what anyone would have expected.
No, not the expectation. And I think that Gen.G did show signs of improvement here in week 2 from what we had seen from them before. I thought even in this matchup here specifically, a couple times, I thought Peanut looked better on the Camille than he has in a couple of other weeks. But again, that's a low bar to clear, and we're going to need more from Gen.G if they want to climb out of this base.
Yeah, game 1 was highly questionable from Peanut, and I mean, their playoff chances already have taken a serious hit, especially when you look at teams like Sandbox, who are way overperforming what people expected in the preseason. So we might not be seeing the defending champs or the 2017 world champions in the playoffs here in 2019. It truly is a wild time.